Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaRakal the bonus the apostles, known to great most and rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers doing the white Syrian truth. Um, yeah, just wanted to do it, to the point, because I was just kind of meditating on Job, and really it's like, what he was dished out, what he was dealt. Um, it's kind of like the inverse now, where people are, it's funny, people when they go through any form of hardship, they really deal with it in the opposite way. They're expecting, good times to be dished out, to be delivered to them, rather than, expecting, you know, shit to be on top. But I'll read it. Job 2:1. It says, "Again there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord Yahweh, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord Yahweh." So yeah, Satan's obviously counted among the angels. He goes out. He's got his job to do. So it says, "And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord Yahweh, and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth the Most High, and escheweth evil?" And yeah, that's the fit. Well, okay, let me read on a bit. And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And yeah, so Job obviously had his family get annihilated. All his youths got taken out. His all these different cattle that he had also got taken out. He's basically destitute. And then like the youths are gone as well, so it's all kinds of fruit. But then he still had his health. But it says, "And Satan answered the Lord Jehovah and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath he will give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone, his flesh, and it will cast thee to thy face." And yeah, it's funny because most people will, especially now, they'll do any and everything, for their life. They'll sacrifice anything. They'll sacrifice loved ones. They'll give up, their wife, their kids, whatever, so they can, maintain themselves. Same for if, what'd you call it? For their goods. Even for their goods, they'll sacrifice those things, man. It's like the quality of people now compared to before. It's completely nowhere near the same levels of integrity. But Job was a special case anyway, because you depending on you get given stuff at your level, man. You get given stuff at your level that you can deal with. And it's like if you can't deal with it, hey, the Lord ain't gonna give it to you, man. Because overwhelm you. What one man can deal with, not another can. And that's what Job could deal with was heavy, and it's really a lesson. It said, "So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord Jehovah." Oh well, and said, "And the Lord Jehovah said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life." So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord Jehovah, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And yeah, that's if you're getting jacked up in your body, a lot of people they ain't gonna damn they ain't gonna what you call it, man? They're not gonna hold fast unto Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. They're gonna think, why is this hardship being delivered upon me? They're like, they're gonna be going to Esau for some kind of soothing balm. A lot of people will curse the Most High, man. There's people you talk to in the world, and they're like, oh yeah, it's like they'll say that they don't believe in, don't believe in the Most High. I'm like, okay, But yeah, well, it's like, something fucked up happened, and then I was like, oh, God exists, why did he let it happen? But then, well, you don't understand the nature of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and it's the realities of what we're doing on the scene here, man. On the scene here, we're out here. Hey, we're out here, to play out judgments, man. That's a big part of what we're doing out here. A big part of what we're doing out here is playing out them judgments, which result in, you might get jacked up, some fucked up shit might go down. You get ailments in your body. Family members might bug out and do all kind. Now's when these things are playing out. And hey, you don't like the thing on top of that is you don't know what you did in your past life, man. You're paying for crimes that you don't even know you did, man, because you're not aware of how the cycle works. What's going down. So I said, and he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And yeah, real talk. Shall you receive good and not receive evil? People take a lot of good for for granted. Like, even with what was it I was thinking of? Just having a whole body. Being born with a whole body, being born with a whole mind, where you're not bugged out. You ain't got fucking jacked up legs, jacked up arms. You ain't got no heart problems or no fucking various issues that you could complications you can have. That's a blessing. You're not getting some getting messed up by some form of cancer or chronic disease. That's that's a blessing. Like, but then those things are essentially at the level of being taken for granted. They're not even seen as any form of a blessing. That's kind of a default, is how most people look at these things. So that's the state that it's got to. But then they'll for maintaining a whole kind of state, they'll kind of go to Esau. They'll think, oh, we need to take some drugs. We need to do X, Y, Z. We need to go to the doctor and then maintain it that way. They're not thinking about lifestyle and their relationship with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Especially really for Jake out here, man. Jake O'Connell, man. They're thinking it's like, as far as for them, a blessing would be getting a fucking, what do you call it, music, a $1 million music contract or some shit. Like, they don't think just being able to live day by day and have your family, have your house, have whatever, and not just be not be all fucked up. That's not a state of blessing. That's just expected. But hey, like I said, shall we receive good and not receive evil? You have them times where you're good. You have them times where you're hard up. You have them times where issues come. You have them times where you're given trials for you to overcome, to grow, so that when you get beyond it, then you're in a greater state. You don't even something that you might view as a hardship can become the bedrock of you becoming better than you are further down the line, man. But that's why you need to deal with these things spiritually. Because so Joe was just like, yo, like, why am I, it will be like, how man have been cruising for the longest, man. And then when you get to the end, he receives his reward back. It was a test, it was a trial, and that's how life is. That's how Yahweh Hashem Yahushai gets down, be out here getting tested. So it says, now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place. Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite from for they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him and to comfort him. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off and knew him not, they lifted up their voice and wept. And they rent everyone his mantle and sprinkled dust upon their head toward heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. And yeah, when you deal with something that raw, that jacked up, it's just like, hey, what can you do, man? You just gotta be like, yo, that's it's fucked. It's fucked. Sometimes, hey, you just gotta, mourn it, and then keep on trucking, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, shalom. Yahaba Shem Shah, Bashim Bakak, Shalom.